store.
This Halloween, when you stock up on Pepsi and Doritos, you'll find coupons for savings on Hershey's candies. It's the perfect recipe for a...
Wicked.
Here's something to howl about. This week at Florida Supermarkets, specially marked Pepsi-Cola 2 liters are just 89 cents.
A ghost! Only a Fruity Pebbles can set my spirit free!
My Fruity Pebbles? Okay.
Frighteningly fruity flavors! Thanks, Fred.
Barney!
Boo. Bon appetit.
Toast Fruity Pebbles cereal, part of this complete breakfast.
Now it's time for the Pizza Head Show.
Hey everybody, I'm done trick-or-treating and now I'm gonna go for a stuffed crust pizza at Pizza Hut. Yay!
Not yet, Pizza Head. There's one more place to go.
I don't think anyone's home.
Sure there is.
Whoa, trick-or-treat! Interesting hieroglyphics on this pizza.
Quick, Pizza Head, let's go upstairs.
Hey, who is here anyway?
It's your host, Count Steve.
Oh, nice place. You got it. I want to go to Pizza Hut now!
The Count will be happy to give you a lift.
Oh, hey, put me down!
See you next time.
Count Micro Machine Man here. I live for the night, so I carry my own light. Micro lights. Touch them like snow, they really glow, but that's not all. Try these amazing Micro Machines lights to sound vehicles. They come with a mighty mini building, have a real glowing emergency lights and make two sounds. Check out these super micro lights with lights that glow and passengers to go. Where do you play with this light and sound show? The Combat City playset. There's a happening heliport, military lift, pivoting gun turret, and fantastic firing rocket. But look out, in case of a real emergency. Get the Emergency City playset. There's the fabulous White House, ambulance station, rear ramp, and helipad. Micro lights, lighted sound vehicles, super micro lights, and playsets, each sold separately from Galoob. Remember, if it doesn't say Micro Machines, it's not the real thing!
Peanut butter crunch.
Horrifying, isn't it? With all peanut butter flavor, you'll always come back for more. Nothing but peanut butter taste in each bite. And it's part of a balanced breakfast. It's to die for. It's the crunch that screams peanut butter.
What is up, family, Bombad fam, whatever you want to call yourselves? It's another episode of Hyperfocus. What's up? It's me, the Canon Junkie, your buddy, your pal. And tonight, guys, I am joined by a very special guest, someone who I think I don't know if I know one person on the internet who has said one unkind word about the person I'm going to have on tonight. And that's not usually how I choose my guests. Usually I choose the ones who, people talk a lot of bad stuff about, I guess. No, I'm just kidding. Scotty, what's up, buddy? Here we go. But you know what, guys, welcome to the Bombad Cast channel. We do a lot of shows here. We do our main show. We do our show on Thursday nights where Scotty and we sit here, and as I said a couple days on the internet ago, we talk about farts and whatever we want to talk about, and sometimes Star Wars, and that's every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, I guess, if you're weird like Scotty. But guys, tonight we have again a special guest here on Hyperfocus. She's one of the she's a very famous writer. I don't know if you know this. She's written many books, and some of them leather bound, I think. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna let her come on in though, so you guys can start to give her all the praise she deserves. And yeah, we're just gonna do that right now, guys. Welcome to Hyperfocus, Kelly Knox. Hey.
Hello. Hi.
How you doing, Kelly?
That was the nicest intro ever. I'm good. How are you?
pretty good. I don't give nice intros to just about everybody and everything, so it is what it is. No, no, it's good to have you here. It's great to be able to sit down and actually talk to you one-on-one. So pressure's on, all that kind of stuff. But no, how are you doing today?
Doing good. I had my COVID booster, so I'm a little bit of not under the weather, but definitely feeling it. So apologies in advance if I say anything
Very much. We're only at half power, so it's fine. It is what it is. No. You're gonna be great. It's fine. But yeah. So let's see. I think that I've kind of known of you for a little bit, just kind of like we've kind of been tertiarily like talking on the internet and everything like that. We had a chance encounter at Celebration, I think, where you popped out of a sewer grate or something, gave me a hug, and then ran off or something. But this is the first time I think we've actually gotten to like actually hang out on camera, actually talk and things like that. And so I'm excited for that. I'm excited to get to know the real Kelly and things like that. Maybe the real person who comes up with all these fantastic jokes and everything every day and stuff like that. When I'm sure you've got plenty in the chamber, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what it is. What it is. Fine. So you don't want the chat to shout out. You don't want me to have the chat give us a Star Wars thing, and you make a joke on the spot, right?
Oh, that'd be difficult.
Okay, then let's not do that. Let's not do that. I'm just kidding. Hold on. Tapestry Man. Oh yes, we've got Alden Diaz in the chat here. How you doing, Alden? Good to see you. Anyway, so Kelly, I believe you've got a book coming out in a few days. I don't know if you want to go ahead and give a quick plug so people can go and pre-order that and everything. But what do you got cooking up that's coming out in a few days?
In 10 days, I have Star Wars Every Day. You can kind of see it behind me. Coming out. That's written by Ashley Eckstein, and then I'm a co-author with a really nice recipe writer named Elena Craig, and it's really fun and cute, and I hope you pre-order it.
Do it.
It's got crafts, recipes, activities, stuff for kids, stuff for grown-ups, all that fun stuff. Basically, Star Wars Day every day. I had to think of it.
Wow, there's not a better pitch than that, honestly. Like that sounds great. So what do you guys do? I mean, stay, but open another tab and pre-order that book if you haven't already, and then come right back. Okay. Kelly. So you've been kind of a little you've seen an episode of Hyperfocus before, so I think you kind of know what you're in for. To your horror or whatever. But I believe it's time for me to ask you the question I think that I ask every guest when they come on here. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it. Kelly, what have you been hyper-focused on recently? It's a big question.
That is a big question.
What's really been circling around your brain recently? What can you not get out of your brain?
I actually spent a lot of the week, that the Young Jedi Adventures that's coming up, and they released the poster.
Yeah.
I tried to sew a little plushie of the little mouse bear looking guy. I've never sewed a plushie before, and so I went and got like a pattern and so like I was super focused on it, and he did not turn out well at all.
Oh no. It can't be that bad, right?
Oh no, it's already been like the trash has come and picked that guy up. I'm really sorry, little dude.
Oh no. Poor mouse guy.
I don't know if it was I don't know if it was the eyes that I ordered, but they were crazy eyes, and I'll try again one day. But yeah, I spent 2-3 days trying to figure out how I was going to say, it's actually really interesting how like a stuffy is put together. So I don't regret learning how to, but he was, or she, I don't even know anything about this character.
Whatever the character, they were very, you brought them to life and they said, kill me, is what you're saying, essentially. No.
Not right.
I'm sure it wasn't that bad.
Right. But I will try again another day.
Well, I mean, at least you're up for trying again and everything. That's good. You didn't do this and go, no, the Cookie Monster eyes are just not right.
It was wrong.
But you know what? That's fine. That's fine. So okay, so you've been I guess a little excited for that Young Jedi series.
Yeah,
kind of
or
a thing.
anytime they show a poster with like a new character, whether it's like High Republic or even just a preschool show, I'm like, I could try to make something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I was that talented, but I'm not.
Well, apparently I'm not. So
no, stop. You listen. 5 or 6 more tries of making this little mouse guy, and I think you'll have it. I think you'll have it on the head.
Somehow, yeah.
No, listen, you could get it on the next try. You never know. But no, that's great. That's great. No, you got to keep trying these little things. But yeah, so seeing things that just really jump out to you, like that's something that really, I think, kind of really speaks to you, right? Is a character that really sparks some creativity within you. Is that that's your that's kind of the big Kelly Knox like fandom. That is your fandom, right? Like,
yeah,
I guess that's all of us have the characters, but none of us try to make them.
Yeah,
not all of us.
How does this work? Like how does it all fit together is also another part of it. Like learning, like recently I learned how like clothes are made, and it's like not something I ever thought about before, but like the same thing with the plush where it's just like, oh, okay, well this piece goes here and this one goes there, and then of course it turns out horrible. But
it turns out that piece actually went there and not the no.
Now I gotta undo all of it and try again. Yeah.
Right. Well, and I mean that's very interesting because again, like I won't say that I'm not a crafty person or anything like that. Like I have tried things. I've done some crafts with my 5-year-old and stuff like that, but I've never ventured. I can never say that I've ever ventured to make even like my own Build-A-Bear or like anything like that. Like, I mean, God forbid I try sewing, I mean, like my fingers already, like, I mean, they've got enough holes in them and stuff like that. But no, so that's really an interesting thing that I love when people are able to make something that is not just something, I don't know, like that is something that speaks to a lot of people than maybe just them and stuff like that. And so, and like, you're very good at that. Actually, you do a lot of really good things you come up with on your own. And kind of put those out like on StarWars.com and stuff like that. So it's very cool. I saw your Andor pumpkin recently made it on there as well, which was really rad. Like I love that thing. Was that like was that one of the I know there are like a lighter pumpkin and everything. Was that what it was, or did you paint the whole thing like that?
See, so my Star Wars editor said the same thing. He didn't realize that I don't know if it's a Pacific Northwest thing. There's just white pumpkins at my grocery store.
I've seen some of them, but I don't know if I've seen them, but I just didn't like from the picture. I was like, okay, it looks like it kind of has a gray hue to it as well and everything. But no, that was again, very inspired. Everyone loves doing that kind of stuff. And so, it's good to do with the kids and everything. Like you said, you got your book that's got a lot of these kind of things in it. And so that's really fun. Yeah. Let me see. Taking Jerry to Build-A-Bear on the to-do list. Thank you, Boop. I appreciate it. No, I have been, and I've gotten things created. I just don't think that I could, out of just things that you make a bear from. They have the bears, they have the shell. They have the empty skin, right? Which is a very morbid way to put it. They have the empty thing there.
It's already you get put
to
together.
It's not like, like that. That's, I mean, all they do is sew up the back, right? Which even I would probably have a little trouble with, honestly.
You could do it.
I think so, but you listen, you say that, but listen, I have tried to patch jackets, and let's just say I should just find a tailor. It's just, that is what it is. So, but it's fine. Let's see. What is that? I made an actual human being. That counts at least for 12 pumpkins. You know what?
That's true.
Stop. No, but okay. So, well, we were talking a little bit about Andor, before everything started. And I know that's on a lot of people's minds and everything. And Scotty and I have been talking a little bit about it on like our Patreon show. And then of course, Bombadcast we get on and we talk about, I don't know, like weird Star Wars interviews. And sometimes we don't even talk about Star Wars at all. This week we tried to scare the socks off of Scotty and it worked. It actually did work. Because we like to do weird Halloween stuff. But so like what's been, is there anything about Andor that you want to talk about? Like, what is really kind of standing out to you about Andor? Are you enjoying it? Is it something that is kind of speaking to you? What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, of course I'm enjoying it. It's interesting here because I'm watching it by myself, and usually my husband and I watch Star Wars together, but for some reason this one's not. It didn't catch him, which I find really interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I keep trying to tell him because he loves like shows that are deeper and quieter, and that's exactly what I keep telling him Andor is. So hopefully I'll get him in.
Has he not watched any, or is he just like he watched a little bit and was like,
of them. And this
oh really?
just like,
okay.
Yeah, and so I'm wondering if that's common, and if they pulled in a different kind of audience for Andor. Sooner or later, I'll wear him down. But I don't know. It was interesting.
You always do.
I do, especially when it comes to Star Wars. So it's been a different viewing experience for me. So that makes it feel a lot more personal and quiet and like contemplative. Like I think I said earlier this week on Twitter, like I just it leaves me speechless for a few minutes after it's over because I just like sit and absorb everything that just happened. But it's a different kind of Star Wars, and I like all Star Wars, let's be honest, but I do like this one too.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. Yeah. No,
digging it.
Yeah, well, and I mean, I think that I don't think that you're the only person who has like someone like that. I know Scotty said that his lovely fiance Katie. Again, I don't know if she's going to pop into the chat or anything tonight. Actually, she's out visiting someone. But anyway, I know that he said that she's had trouble with it because it's not like the action packed, like like it's not like usual Star Wars. It is very much like it is a quiet, suspenseful like spy thriller.
Yeah,
and sometimes it's just I don't know, like they really try to build the paranoia and everything. And I think honestly you're doing a fantastic job of that. Really just having those quiet moments, the moments of I don't know, like having people betray people that you don't see coming, but you're like, and it's like, you don't have to, why are you betraying this person? You don't have to do that. It's just, it's very, and I think we've been talking about this on some of our reviews and everything. Like it's very, for being Star Wars, it's very real world, and not in a bad way, but it's the most, I think, real world that we've had in Star Wars ever to this point, even more so than Rogue One, way more than Rogue One, frankly. It's very, very just like heavy, very real world consequences. It just feels like this is the closest you could take. You could rip some of these characters and just put them right in today's society. And it feels like they would fit like right in, kind of a thing. So, but yeah, there's a lot just like craziness going on. But yeah, no, I think there's a lot. It is bringing a different audience. And listen, you can like all of Star Wars and things like that. We can like different parts of Star Wars. But yeah, it is interesting how many people are coming at this saying this is what I've always wanted, and it's way better than anything we've gotten. Which again, say what you want to say, I guess. But I never like saying like I like this thing by disparaging another thing and things like that, But no, it's it's definitely it's a new exciting part of the story that we're excited to get. So have you got any favorite characters out of there so far? Like anyone that stands out that wasn't in there before?
Bix, I would say. I hope she comes back because we only had her for the first 3 episodes. I don't know why they would, if she would even fit in the rest of the stories. Probably not, but I really liked her.
I don't know. Yeah, she was very interesting. You would think that she would, because she felt so like she was the reason he got involved, right, with Luthien. Like she's the one who
she's the one who
contacted Luthien.
introduced him.
So
Yeah.
yeah, no, I've seen a lot of people like saying, "Where's Bix? Are we gonna get Bix back?" So I hope so.
Here's hoping. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what I'm really looking forward to seeing by the end of the whole thing, if we still even like Cassian, because he says in Rogue One, you don't basically like everything I've done, I did for the rebellion. You don't know the horrible things I've done, and so like, is that going to make, now that we get to see it, is that going to make him any less likable? Which I really doubt, because I love him. But so you can do whatever, it's fine. But I'm just curious how how seeing what happens to him ultimately in Rogue One now will be changed, which is my favorite thing about this era of Star Wars, is how every story we get goes back and changes everything we already knew, which is a fun way to get around the like, oh, I know what happens to Cassian at the end of Rogue One, but it's like there's so much more to it. Like, so yeah, that's what I love about these series, like Obi-Wan and everything that goes back and just keeps adding to the story, even though we technically know how it's going to end. But sorry, that was a tangent. I just
no, it's a good tangent, because that always annoys me when anytime people are like, well, we know how, like when the prequels first came out, they're like, well, we know he becomes Darth Vader. Like, what's the point? Why go, like, just that's the constant argument against prequels, I guess. And I'm not saying there's not validity in some arguments for that, but at the same time, a lot of us, we talk about this stuff every week on camera because we're, a little obsessed. I guess we love it. We love it. That's a better word. Love is better than obsessed, but we are. And we want to, like, and that's the thing. Like, you can tell a good story about a character who what happens to them. We tell they make movies about all these presidents who have passed away and stuff like that. I know it's different a little bit there. Those are real people and things like that, but I don't know why people don't find their journey to where you find them in that fascinating. Because to me, I find that's more interesting to me. I want to know, like, I love people. I love finding out like what makes people tick and things like that. And especially with characters that I love, with Cassian, with Obi-Wan and everything, just to stick with Cassian for right now, you were talking about, you hope that some of the things you see doesn't like make him less lovable of a character or whatever, like towards the end, or less of a more, like a character to love at the end. But I don't think it is. I think it's going to make his decision in Rogue One even more poignant, because the thing that I kept going to, especially after this last episode, and again, so spoilers, and if you're watching this and you haven't watched the new episode of Cassian Andor, you brought this on yourself. Listen, but we you see him, I don't know, the heist, like breaking into the Imperial facility, was so nerve-wracking, was so it was so I was on the edge of my seat the whole time, which I know everyone, like, that's a cliche thing, but yeah, it's like, it really was an edge of your seat. Like, what are they going to do? And it didn't feel like the rebellion that we've seen. It's like very desperate people, holding people hostage and stealing money and everything, again, for a good cause. But it's very, it's that very gray area of like, we're stealing from the fascists and, using it to fight them and everything, which is good. But there's, then you have him blasting away, Skeen. I almost want to say Skier every time but then, because of the High Republic, but Skeen, right? Yeah. At the end where Skeen's like, hey, what if we run off and, take this money, we'll split it 2 ways and, then we can get out of here. And he just blasts them, like, just right there. No questions or anything, which is more Han Solo than Han Solo. I'm just kidding. Not to get into that. But it was very like Han Solo, just like, boom, like, I got you. Like, even more so, But I just kept thinking that whole episode, I've done terrible things in the name of the rebellion. Or we've all done terrible things in the name of the rebellion. All the people he was with, and just them wanting to go do that. Go with Jin to perform that selfless act of, basically sacrificing themselves to let the galaxy know that this thing exists and there's a way to defeat it and everything like that, to give the galaxy their hope. so to speak, as Star Wars continues to tell us, that hope is what it's all about. I don't know, like I feel like it's only going to enrich the story. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's, I love stories like that, in talking about Obi-Wan, a lot of people, they were like, well, how can you do an Obi-Wan series? Like, well, I don't want to do and I was in for it, even if it was just him sitting there every day, like meditating, trying to talk to Qui-Gon and watching over Luke. Like, I think I personally would have been happy with that even, but they decided to do something that would absolutely destroy me. And all of us, with having him be with Leia and everything like that. And like going to save her, going off world. Actually, it's just, I don't know. It was an interesting story. And it to me, and I will let you talk because I need to let you talk to my guests and everything. But it's a very, it added so much to the character. I mean, Obi-Wan was already a dynamic character, but to me, what the Obi-Wan series did well was it blended the prequel Obi-Wan, Clone Wars Obi-Wan, and the Obi-Wan that we find in Rebels and then ultimately in A New Hope and the rest of the original trilogy. It made them all one. Not that they weren't before, but it felt more cohesive going forward. And that's what it did for me. So, but I don't know, yeah. But that, I don't know what that, if that, so what is it about? So what did Obi-Wan do for you? Let's just say that. What did the Obi-Wan series do for you that you really enjoyed? What did that add to the story that you really wanted to see? Because I like this. That's what I love. Again, I'm a canon junkie. We love I love what stuff adds to the stories we already know.
It's like you said, the like that journey from episode 3 to episode 4, where obviously he's broken at the end of 3, but when we see him in 4, he's at peace with what's happened. He's at peace the whole time, honestly. And so seeing how he got there, how he learned how to obviously be a Force ghost and all that stuff. It's
right.
It was interesting to me with all the, like with Cassian and with Obi-Wan, is that even though, like you said, we know how the stories are going to end, like we knew that Cassian wasn't going to die during the heist, but it was still like super suspenseful. Like, I feel like that's,
you don't know anything else about all these other people we've been with for the last couple of episodes,
so
who we've gone. Yeah. I mean, they killed someone by crushing them with money, which was never which is, I'm sorry. It's still, that's very, I'm sorry, but that's like, I never thought I'd see something like that. It's like the most brutal, right? It's the most brutal way that I've ever seen in a Star Wars movie. Like this show is just like very, but anyway, please continue. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, it's fine.
It was very on the edge of your seat. Yeah.
And so even though we do know how, it ends for those guys, like it doesn't make it any less interesting or exciting or suspenseful. The thing I think I worried about selfishly about Obi-Wan that I worried about the most was that it was before my Be More Obi-Wan came out, and I was so worried it was gonna like undo everything that I had written.
I was gonna say. See, I thought you were more like in line with it, but okay.
I was so nervous that he was gonna be like, don't use the Force and don't be patient, like do like a complete turn. So like every episode I was like, yes, I still got it right.
Yeah, like right. Nailing it. All right.
Book is still good. So that was a total 100% selfish way of me watching Obi-Wan every week. I was like, oh, thank God, he's still Obi-Wan. He might be a little messed up right now, but he's still Obi-Wan.
He's still there. He's still in there. Yeah, it's not selfish. That's again self-preservation and stuff like that. You're like owning your craft. It's
an additional layer to a very good series. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and so I forget that book did come out right before the series, didn't it?
Right before.
And everything. You're Obi-Wan, Be More Obi-Wan. Okay. Yeah. No. So well, okay. So you brought that up and everything. So what?
Sure.
Did you do to prepare to write Be More Obi-Wan? Like what place did you kind of go to kind of go there? And so I'll admit I haven't read that one.
Oh, that's fine.
But I definitely should grab it because I've got I think I've got Be More Yoda and everything.
They're all great.
That I've gotten for a gift. I'm trying to think, maybe be more Darth Vader, which I don't know why you would want to be more Darth Vader. That guy just chokes people all the time, drags them down the street. It's horrifying. But so what kind of went into this Be More Obi-Wan book for you? Just, I guess, mindset wise, like what were you trying to accomplish with that?
I know that I focused. I focused more on the prequels and the Clone Wars. A little bit because I have the original trilogy memorized, so I didn't really have to go back and like I already knew the quotes that I wanted from there. So I really took time with the Clone Wars and the prequels to get an idea of who he was then, and how he is with Anakin in particular. And so I think I watched the prequels a few times. It was all just kind of really about like going into a little bit more, trying to figure out what George Lucas was trying to say through Obi-Wan, if that makes sense. And I read some interviews with George on what he thought, like in the Star Wars archive book. I went through and read what he said a lot about Jedi and Obi-Wan and things like that. And so, but mostly concentrated on the prequels, I think, for that. And then, of course, I had no idea what was coming in Obi-Wan Kenobi, but
you don't get the copies of everything before everyone else. That's what I feel like you should get. Like if you're preparing a book for this, like for real.
I would have absolutely put his the turn on the light metaphor if I had known, because that was such a good lesson that he, like, as soon as he said it, I was like, ah.
It's so good. I think my breath caught in my throat whenever he was saying it, just because it's so, oh God, it's so inspiring. And also so like, you can feel the years of him, how long he's been in the dark, in when he's saying it as well. And just saying it to Leia, who is a child at the time, and again, me with my daughter, wanting to instill hope and things like that. It was just it had so many layers for me. And I'm sure all of us, it had so many layers. It's just, I had never heard such an eloquent explanation for the Force. So simple. So like, how do you feel when you turn on the light? Safe. That's how it feels. It's simple, but yet so profound in its simplicity and everything like that. And so
I was like, I want to feel like that. I wish the Force was real.
I need the Force. Yeah. All of us need it sometimes. Yeah, because that is, again, like, I don't know. It's just such a great metaphor for the Force, and the light side specifically. It's saying it makes it lets you feel safe. It helps you feel safe. That's just, it was inspired and everything. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Who wrote that episode? I'm trying to remember. Like, was it all? I'd have to look it up.
I don't know, but then he spends, 10 minutes at the end of that episode running around in the dark because he's scared of Vader. And I was like, don't even know the light.
No, he needs the light.
You just listen to your own advice.
Yes, he was trying to turn it on, but he hadn't paid the electric bill in a while, I guess. So, yet. No, it's. God, that whole series. And I rewatched it again recently. Like, I had kind of been going through, like, doing like a Clone Wars chronology kind of weird thing and everything. Cause like, I had nothing to do in my life normally. But yeah, it's that show, I think, has been my favorite thing that I've loved everything that Star Wars has put out, like that they've put out since like the acquisition. I'm one of the like biggest, like, I love pretty much everything Lucasfilm. I mean, I'm a big Kingdom of the Crystal Skull fan, even, aren't many of us, but we're here. But, Obi-Wan Kenobi, I think, reminded me of why I originally loved what drew me into Star Wars originally, and it made me feel like back in the early 2000s when the prequels were coming out, and I was a little bit of an older kid, like being excited for something coming out. That first trailer made me feel like, so, like, I don't know, those feelings I felt when I saw the Revenge of the Sith trailer, things like that. Like, I got excited, I got hyped. I did for the Force Awakens, Last Jedi, all that stuff too. But I don't know, there's something about Obi-Wan has just been my favorite thing in the last several years that they have done. And maybe it's because it's a familiar character, but we've added so much layers and depth to him you know, and it just it adds so much to, again, a lot of moments in A New Hope, which already had so much meaning and everything like that. But no, it goes back to what you were talking about earlier, you know, like, why are we so resistant to these shows about characters and you know what happens to them? Because like you can have a newfound appreciation for that character down the line. Then why wouldn't you want to have that, you know? So
yeah.
let me see here. Yeah, right. Everyone. So, okay. Just since we're on the topic of Star Wars, and we don't usually talk about Star Wars on this Star Wars channel show. No. Hey, would you? Don't you apologize? Don't you apologize? Get out of here. No. We since we're on the topic of Star Wars, though, what is there something you're really looking forward to that's coming out that you think is going to really kind of do the same thing like Kenobi and Cassian are doing for you? Is there something that's kind of piquing your interest? I don't know if that's like looking too far ahead there or not.
I'm trying to even remember because there's so much.
There's a lot of stuff coming out pretty soon.
Yes. Tales of the. Is that what it is? Yes, Tales of the Jedi.
Tales of the Jedi.
Yes, I was really I'm looking forward to more Qui-Gon. I have to say, I love that guy.
Oh my god. So Qui-Gon, we have a saying on Bombadcast. I don't know if you've heard or if we've said or anything. It's Qui-Gon Jinn is the most Jedi to ever Jedi.
Yes. And he's the best.
It's very true. I can't tell you how psyched I am as well. I'm glad you said Tales of the Jedi, because that was what I was going to bring up if you didn't, because that's coming up really quick, and it is. I feel like it's going to go by so fast because they're dropping it all in one day. But there's what is it? We've got 3 or 4 episodes of each, like for Count Dooku and for Ahsoka, right?
Yeah.
The Count Dooku ones, I'm sorry, are going to be absolutely, I think, ground shake. I think they're going to be earth shattering to the character of Dooku. Frankly, it just, I don't know if like I'm the only one I'm alone in thinking that, but I feel like that's really going to add, like, and again, not that the Ahsoka episodes won't, but I feel like Ahsoka, we kind of have her big pivot point and everything, right? Where she leaves the Jedi Order and becomes, you know, this kind of wandering samurai-like character. And Dooku, we know he was a Jedi, and then he's kind of a rich dude who then becomes a Sith Lord and everything. And we know a lot. There's a lot more to it, but I feel like there's not as much. Like we don't have really much except for, like, again, Dooku Jedi Lost. The book and everything, and not that the books are any less. I'm talking to an author here, so not that the books are less, you know. Yeah, like, come on, man. But I don't know. I'm very excited. So, what particular arc? So you're looking more forward to more of that, more of Qui-Gon. Was it Liam Neeson's son is playing the younger version of him? Correct. If I'm remembering correctly, I believe it is. I forget his name, so forgive me. Alden is actually Alden Diaz is already backstage, waiting to talk, I think, and he's probably kicking himself, saying like, "Jerry, it's this name." But no, I don't know. It's just, it looks so interesting, looks so exciting. I can't wait.
And,
but okay,
Mando, the next season of Mando, all that. Pretty much looking forward to everything.
It's amazing how much is coming up. Like I always forget the wealth of riches that we're in. Like by the time Andor ends, we are going to, like, we would have already had Tales of the Jedi, and then I don't think nothing else is really starting until January, right? With season 2 of Bad Batch.
Yeah,
I believe. Yeah, I'm really excited for that because I'm a big Omega guy and everything. Like I love that whole family dynamic and everything, like the Full House, but in Nazi Germany feel of that kind of, you know, thing. Yeah, I know it's a weird comparison, but if it works, right? So, but yeah, no, I'm a big fan of that kind of stuff. And so, well, Kelly, if you're ready, we've got a couple of people waiting backstage to come in here and we don't talk
about Star Wars. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, listen. This is Hyperfocus. Just sounds like a Star Wars show. I mean, come on, it's about ADHD, but it's a Star Wars show as well. But guys, hold on. His son's name is Michael Richardson, by the way. He has his late mother's last name. Thank you, Alden. He actually, that's what the private chat is for. I'm glad Alden's behind the scenes now. So, well, before we go any further, let's go ahead and do live chat call in, and let's bring in Alden. Hey, how you doing? Cheers, sir. Cheers. I think you're muted. Actually.
There we go. Cool. I didn't want you to hear anything I was saying while you were so graciously interviewing our guest. Yeah, this segment not brought to you by Miller Lite. Miller Lite brought to you by my stepdad. That's a very stepdad beer.
It is this. I think that's on their can, right? The beer
very stepdad beer. Yeah, I think they claim to be the champagne of beers.
Well, is that Miller Lite? Is that Miller Lite? Because I was going to say the champagne of beers.
Or maybe that's Coors. Either way, they're both bad, and I don't want either of them. It's just all we have at the moment.
It's Miller. It's Miller time. That's what it is. Yeah. So anyway, Hi, Alden.
Hi.
Oh my goodness, Kelly's here. So excited! I've been looking forward to this one.
You got a haircut for a second.
Got your haircut?
Oh, you thought that I got a haircut? No, I had too much hair. That's why it's all packed under here. I'm pulling the Jerry. Jerry, explain to me why when we talk to you, we get what I called in our private chat, our text chat, original recipe Jerry. But then you got a published author on, and you decided to put on an adult shirt. I see you. Don't think I don't see you.
Listen, I wear denim all the time. Okay, come on.
Is that denim?
This is denim actually. You can see it's very light denim.
I'm shilling. I got the when they put that title card on top of Clone Wars season 7 for the Siege arc, and we all got chills because they did the classic. Yeah, that was really, really cool. Kelly, I'm so excited that you're here. You called in. Did you call in, or were you? No, you were in the comments, and we were talking about feet when I was on.
I never called in. Yeah.
So far, this is going better.
I mentioned that earlier. I think.
I don't know. It must have been before I got here.
I think
there's nothing wrong with anyone that likes such a topic, but here we are talking about real things. I'm just happy
that Star Wars fans like to talk about.
Yeah, I'm just so happy that Kelly's here because Kelly will never give herself enough credit for being the yes. Yeah, I do say that a lot. For just the breadth of what you're able to do. We've talked about this on my show, and then just in general, she's an anime expert and covers things in that world, and the crafting and the writing and the gaming and the just everything, and being a parent and having a real life and having constant output. It's gotten to the point where the brand is strong enough that you can see a StarWars.com article and know it's Kelly before you click it.
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. I hope that's good.
Just on the headline. No, you can. You can. I will click a StarWars.com article and be like, is this going to be Baver or is this going to be Kelly? Or someone else. But yeah, in the best way. So Kelly, am I supposed to ask something if I call in?
Well, yeah.
Is that how that works?
Do you have any questions or anything? Listen, do you have any questions about or anything to comment on what we have been talking about, or something you want to bring up yourself? You listen. Yeah. I don't have to tell you how to interview somebody. You're you talked to Ryan Johnson. Come on, let's have it. Come on.
I did do that.
You did do that.
That was cool.
There you go. I had to name drop so you didn't have to. There you go.
He was a nice guy. I will never bring it up. I'm already. I cringe every time somebody brings it up, but I do appreciate it.
I like to watch you squirm.
Yeah. You know who else was on that event? Kelly Knox.
Kelly Knox was in that event.
Mm-hmm. Ryan Johnson, Kelly Knox. And there's some other people.
I'm say,
but
honestly, Kelly Knox.
Kelly Knox, Cassian Ander.
Cassian Ander. Yeah, Kelly, what is sort of I guess what I'd be curious about is, right before I got on, this idea of putting aside Star Wars, but it always kind of comes back into it. Jerry and I were on a long recording today for something that Bombad people will get later. We did 3 podcasts in one day. That was in and around Star Wars and stuff. So what do you think, especially I know you've got also a big Marvel fan in your house with your kiddo and everything. How does Star Wars find its way into other stuff? Do you seek things out by their Star Warsiness? Do you find an anime and say, oh, it's kind of like that. Okay, now I know sort of how to latch on. Or do you look for things because they're not like Star Wars and you have Star Wars for Star Wars?
It's an interesting way to put it. I look for. I guess I'm just an equal opportunity nerd. It doesn't really matter if it's Star Wars or not. Like this week, I did my first Star Trek. Well, not my first. I did a Star Trek craft. Like it's pretty much anything.
Nice.
Oh, that sounds selfish if I say it. Anything I'm interested in.
No, that's not selfish.
I don't know
Not
how
at
else
all.
to put it.
Not at all.
That doesn't sound selfish at all.
If it's something I'm excited enough to write about, I try to write about it, I guess, which is a very lovely position to be in. But yeah, no, it's always independent of each other because I guess because all these things I've always liked since I was a kid, Marvel and DC and Star Wars, Star Trek, all that stuff. It's all just a good story, I guess.
Yeah, and I guess like with that, like Jerry, you and I have talked about so many nerdy things. We were crying about the Rings of Power finale.
Oh, we were crying over voice text for
it's like
sure.
5-minute voice messages. Like
cried for the Harfoots.
This is why I think that it's Gandalf because this and this and this.
I did.
So there's yeah. So like there's so much to love right now. And one thing I guess I'm interested in. I don't want to take up everybody's time because I know we have other callers and stuff. But I mean I don't know that.
No, you're good.
We do.
You're good. Come on, bring it on.
Recently, there was the Picard trailer, right? And I saw like many people freaking out. I was freaking out. Nikki was, you as well. Justin Bolger, like a bunch of people just like, wow. Like we knew we were getting the crew back together, of course. But then there was the Moriarty and then there was lore and then it was all this other stuff. And like, at what point do you think, I'll start with my opinion. I don't think that there's a too far in bringing stuff back because I think it's totally about execution. And I know a lot of people will have the feeling of like if you go to the well too many, if there's too many returns, it just feels like you're trying to recapture something. Everything's coming back. There's going to be more Frasier. There's like it's more shocking when something doesn't come back or when they say something will not. Like Robert Zemeckis has said, as long as he's alive, there will not be another Back to the Future, and that's almost the minority opinion now.
Yeah.
So where's your line for like what can come back and what can't?
I'm trying to think of how to say this without it sounding like this is not about Star Wars, but I don't mind. I love things coming back if you're not bringing them back to make me watch them die. Like,
that's fair.
I don't want to see Picard die. I don't like some of that stuff. Like I love them as a kid. I don't want to see how that story ends.
Spoilers for Blade Runner 2049. Deckard.
Yeah.
Deckard does not die, and so that was like like that. And I totally thought he would, because that's such a grim thing.
Like I love seeing these things that I loved as a kid come back, but I don't always need to see how sad and
Are we lacking happy endings as a culture?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a thing, and if that's, I'm sorry, I don't want to take Kelly's thunder or anything, but like I feel like there is such a, if someone's bringing someone back, or there are characters like the whole Ahsoka wasn't in the prequels, she's got to die, she's got to be dead. Or like, even I mean, they did that with Rogue One,
and we all
characters.
And look, I'll own that. Who amongst us in 2008 did not think she was a goner? Because we were so one-track minded of like, I didn't see it in the movies, therefore it cannot be. Yeah,
that was the only way to have a character exit a story, and it's like, no, people exit your life. People don't just leave your life in a casket all the time. Like you've got to. There are different ways that you can do this, and I think we have gotten a little bit like people like Dave Filoni, I think, has done some good stuff, or like Star Wars has done some good things with some like, we're not going exactly the direction you think we're going. But I think we could use a lot more of the happy endings for characters or like, and everything.
Star Wars also has the out though, right? Like there's no Force in Star Trek. So if Picard dies, he's dead. When Luke goes out, he goes out of his own volition and becomes immortal. And that's a little bit of we can skirt around it and it's still happy.
Yeah.
When Leia goes out, she goes out of her own volition and becomes immortal. And that's so with Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like these are the things that were sort of Gandalf dies, but Gandalf comes back, and then Gandalf goes to the West. Like you have your ones that give you that inherent out. But if it happens in Star Trek, if it happens in most comic book things. So far, the MCU has been pretty like they've been pretty like committed to killing. Like you're dead, you're dead. The Thanos snap was a different thing, but like I don't think Robert Downey Jr. ever comes back, nor should he.
Or Scarlet,
yeah, I think they're gone. And whereas
you don't even
in
think
comics,
for Secret Wars or anything like that, like for a one-time appearance or something, maybe
as a different iteration, possibly. Like if
you
had Robert Downey Jr. show
universe.
up, if you had Robert Downey Jr. show up in the all silver armor with the blue eyes, and he was the superior Iron Man for like one big third act thing, people would start crying. Like that would be crazy.
Oh man,
but
I lose my shit for sure.
I don't know. And like Kelly, you grew up reading comics and stuff too. Like the only people that get to stay dead are Uncle Ben and the Waynes. Those are like the only people.
That's it.
So I guess spinning out of that, should death be final?
For characters like I wish they had never brought like Barry Allen back, because it's the same thing with like Iron Man, right? Where it kind of negates their sacrifice at the end. It kind of makes the story not as powerful. So some of them should come back. I think in real life they have age working against them, right? You bring somebody back and they look a lot older. It kind of doesn't work as well.
Comics, it's like you're 30 again. We're drawing you like and it's also doesn't it kind of like in a weird way, like not if you love them and you're invested in them and the writing's good, but it could be sort of like Wally West, you're not the real Flash. Like the real Flash is back. It can have a little bit of that. Whereas like sometimes you could do that well, like the Hawkeyes.
Yes. And they did wait a really long time for Barry Allen. And so I think I mean, if you're gonna bring him back, I guess they did it the best time. But I think like you said, only a few can really ever stay gone.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. Yeah, I know that like a lot of people, they all have their characters that they want to come back and things like that. And I get it. And like if you have the out, like, and again, it's your emotions versus like what you logically maybe know should be like Ventress is dead, right? But if they were like actually, and there was a really compelling story, then it's like I'm probably gonna like that a lot. Like, so it's like you can always be bought. You can always win. I have a question that was just written in, Jerry. Is that okay?
Sure.
Boop can't call.
You're yeah. Oh, listen, that's my
Boop can't call, so Boop texted me.
All right.
And Boop said, I will read you the exact correspondence. I'm not going to be able to call in tonight. Would you be willing to ask Kelly the B question?
Yes. So we need to get the B. We need to get Kelly on the books.
The B question. So Boop has asked every Hyperfocus guest this same question, exactly written like this. Okay. I said, type it out for me. Boop reads. Boop says, I read. How many bees do you think you could put in your mouth before passing out? Live bees of the Bumble variety.
I always thought it was, can you eat? How many live bees could you eat?
I always thought it was eat too, but Boop has, can you put in your mouth before passing out?
They have definitely like...
Place
sorry, Quilly. Sorry.
In mouth or fully eat.
Not that
and honestly, it's a personality kind of thing. You can tell a lot about a person from the way they answer this question. So
I said no more, no less than 73 bees.
I was thinking like 3, but then it would like tickle, I think. So I think
that's what I was thinking. You want a clumpy crunch, like one of those rice cake balls or something. Like
but that. Different if you're
place in mouth, no chewing, no swallowing.
3.
Place in mouth.
3.
They've altered the deal. Pray they don't alter it any further.
3 bees.
3 bees.
They just
3 bees.
Buzzing around in there. I think that would just tickle you to death.
That would change my answer as well, because I thought we were eating the bees. Okay. So anyway, I don't know if we've got alternate timeline Boop who can't call in right now.
She might be being nice, not making me eat the bees.
That's possible.
That's true.
Maybe that's what it is. They're just like they just want us to eat them. But once again, when you get a best-selling author on, everybody wants to suddenly act like they have more class than they actually do.
Someone nice like Kelly is on here, like a vagabond like Kelly on here. They want to be nice, stuff like that. So
I'm dying like low key to see just like the unhinged, like ruthless punk rock Kelly. When does that come out? Is that like when you play video games? Is that during sports? I hear tell that you
at a punk rock show,
some passionate sports DMs, and the like. I know that I don't know
Do we need to
anything
get-
about football. I don't even know the rules.
No. Yeah,
but I always know
We're
there's
real
football
nerds.
because of you, Brandon Winerdy, Trey. There's a lot of people and lots of Texas connections, especially.
Oh, I thought you
Yeah.
were like more of a sports guy for some reason. I
Did
don't
you
know
really
why.
think
Like,
that?
well, no, for a little bit.
No. I'm not
We're
like
both really nerds.
I'm not
both real
poo-pooing
nerds.
you for it.
No.
I'm surprised by that. No, I like professional wrestling, which is an art form, not a sport.
Well, true, very true. But yeah, no, sorry. You were asking Kelly the question. So
Yeah, like where is the more like is that like I know obviously you have a sister, a twin sister, much like the Skywalker twins. There's they're not even the Knox twins. You're not the Knox twins. No, you would be your maiden name twins. But the whole idea of sibling rivalry, does that apply to you? Because you run in similar circles. You don't really see a lot of siblings that end up in similar career paths either, which did happen for you.
No, and we've been like collaborating on stuff together too. No, we haven't really been at that sibling rivalry stage since we were kids, I guess. So yeah, yeah, we did like a D&D thing together recently and stuff. And if I ever get stuck on like a word, you know how you get like the brain farts on a certain word, then I can always text her or
I don't know what that's
or
like.
I'll tell her what I'm. She always knows what I'm working on before anybody else, and she'll help me with like a headline. Or often I'll say, "Is this joke any good?" And she will tell me yes or no before I tweet it.
She's a joke tester.
She is a joke tester.
See, I never thought there was a joke tester because so many of them are so just. You could not have tweeted them without utter confidence. That's the thing.
It is more about, you're going to laugh. It is more about do you know what this Star Wars thing is? Is this too obscure? Than it is this super funny?
It's a normie test.
Correct.
That's what it is. Got it.
We watched Star Wars together, but there's a lot of stuff that she hasn't seen or that I fixate on that she doesn't. So sometimes I'll be like, "Do you know who this guy is?" And she'll be like, "I have absolutely no idea, but I'm sure it's funny, Kelly, sweetie. It's great."
Yeah. Well, that's a hard thing too. Like, Jerry, you're probably this in your life. I'm this in my life, and Kelly, you probably are in yours. The Star Wars person, where everyone around you. Jerry, you ever been at work and then someone's like, "So, this happened to me the day after Disney Plus launched. I get to work, I'm making a cup of coffee. It's morning radio, so it's like 5 a.m. And I'm in the radio station, hoodie, just like." And then someone from the Latin station came down. So you hear the when they open their door, and then they come down to the coffee machine. And they're like,
"Fantastic,
bro, is that like Yoda as a baby, or like a different thing?" And we're in Miami, so these are super Miami bros. And I was like, I don't even know where to start with this. Yeah, I don't even know where to begin. Like, actually, at the time of the prequels, there was 2 masters. Yeah, it's always like, do you really want to talk about Star Wars? Or do you just want to talk about the weather? Like, I don't. Like, are you bringing it up because you want to please me, your coworker, or are you interested? Like, my mother will be like, "So, in House of the Dragon," and then I'm always like, "Oh boy, like what level of question is this going to be?" Because,
by the way, Mrs. Diaz is the goated. By the way, I'm just saying, the goated Mrs. Diaz for sure.
Diane. Well, that's because.
Diane is goated.
Do you want to bring up that debate for your guest?
Which one? Hold on.
Remember when I got my mom in a voice message recently?
Oh, okay. We'll do this, and then I'm going to kick you out until the end of the show, and I'll bring in. I'll bring lovely little. We get lovely little Eli waiting backstage as well.
Please.
He's got a bedtime, so we got to make sure to get him almost down here. I'm joking, but please, no, go ahead. Let's start a war right here.
Oh, I don't have to be the one that does it. It's your show, please.
Oh well,
you fall on the sword.
That's true. Well, you're the guest. Anyway, okay. So Kelly.
Yes.
Candy corn, yes or no?
Yes.
And before you, oh my God, a quick yes!
Yes!
Oh, brutal.
One more to the good fight.
Oh, she shot me. I feel like Greedo or Skeen.
I thought you were asking me a question about my mom, and I was like,
well, no, it's because I was trying to prove a point, and my mom and I have such similar tastes that I thought she would agree with me. So there's a group chat of several of us. If you pay any attention to Twitter, it's very easy to figure out who's in it.
This, honestly.
And I go to my mom like Billy on the street, and I'm like
confident.
I'm like, all right, I'm going up to my mom. Here she comes, and I'm like, Mom.
We're gonna settle
She doesn't hear me, and I'm like, Mom. And she goes, What? And I'm like, Do you like candy corn? She goes, Yeah. I'm like, Bah! Like just immediately. It was so brutal. I never felt so betrayed. Never felt so betrayed by Diane.
I think I did. I said you just tried to Billy Eichner us and hit a brick wall.
Yeah, it was awful.
But, listen, and now you're not saying that candy corn is the best candy of all time, right? You're just saying that candy corn. I like candy corn, right? Or you can.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Wow, I just
thank you.
I just don't.
That's just it's a handful of. It's just like
now redemption round. Redemption.
I say that. Listen, I say that candy corn is the limbus bread of seasonal candies. Okay,
the limbus bread.
One handful is enough to fill garbage. One handful is enough to fill the belly of a grown man for a full year. Okay, like
I don't know about all that. I like it though. Now redemption round before we let you in. Redemption round.
Hear me.
Okay.
Candy corn aside.
Wait, redemption.
Candy corn.
No. Yeah. What are you doing?
Redemption.
Harassing my
candy
guest.
corn aside. Would you consider yourself to be a fan of the Reese's peanut butter cup?
That's number one. Yeah.
Number one. Okay, we're friends again. All right. Number one.
That is. I love Reese's peanut butter cups as well. Yes.
No, but you're on thin ice. I like Kelly.
Yeah, you know, that's all right. Get out of the, hey.
Reese's peanut butter cup number one.
Number one.
Bye, Alden. Get out of here with your his propaganda and everything. Anyway, well, listen, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry that Alden tried to come in here and start World War III, but you know what? Listen, we're all about freedom and people in here, and
candy corn.
Yeah, and freedom, people, and candy corn. And speaking of freedom, people, and candy corn, I'll bring one of my favorites in, and it's my good buddy Eli. You know what? I'm gonna play an intro video for you, Eli.
Wait, holy crap. Holy crap. Holy. Oh my God. I knew it. Oh!
Welcome, Eli.
Thank you. By the way, first of all, I brought this with me.
Yeah.
My fridge.
We got Reese's cups.
Yeah, redemption. That's what I'm talking about.
There you go.
Next question: how many candy corn could I put in my mouth before passing out? Probably 0. I'm on team against candy corn. I've been established this.
Okay.
So
you're gonna replace the B question with the candy corn question, is what you're saying? Like, honestly, how many candy corn can I put in my mouth until I'm just like I'm good? Until I'm like that's okay, I'm good now. You know.
No,
until my sugar reaches an all-time high, I think. Anyway, what's up, Eli? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm coming from Mapuzo. Apparently, is what I decided today.
I see that. You're looking great.
I've decided that for every like Hyperfocus that I'm on, I'm gonna like listen to something from the conversation, and you guys were talking about Obi-Wan a lot, which is the goated Star Wars show. So I'm like, let's do Mapuzo.
You're not actually on Mapuzo?
I mean, yes, I am because
you sit on a throne of lies, sir.
Look, I basically live in Mapuzo anyway. Look, yeah, I live near Mapuzo and Tython. Like that's what I've learned.
That's fair enough.
No, but I'm doing good. Nice to see you again, Kelly. It's a great meeting at Celebration. You probably don't remember, and that's fine. It was a long few days.
It was.
Yeah. Actually, I did have a question for you, because I know there are puns that you work on that are like. I'm sure there are ones that you work on that you're like. Before you tweet out, you're like, "Oh, this is gonna be good! I can't wait to do this one." Which pun is you like relished in the most of like posting it and just like putting it out there?
Like the top one, the best one, right? Like most favorite or something.
The one that I knew was gonna get that kind of like reaction was the what did Klieglar say when he saw Anakin Skywalker on Tatooine, and he said, "Long time no shmee." Like I knew that one was gonna be horrible, and I was like that little, that raccoon gif where he's like this. The long time no shmee one.
Yeah.
That one.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Oh my God, that's a good
it's
one.
Awful. It's awful.
The more awful, the better. Honestly, though, like this is like seriously that I feel like that's like the whole That's the whole
Yes.
linchpin of all of these, right? Is like the worse that it is, especially like, you know, if it's about
Yes.
dismemberment or something, the better. Like, frankly,
I try not to cross the line into mean, and that one was like right there.
I just noticed that Jacob and I wrote a bunch of Star Wars puns like a few years ago. That I typed one in the chat, which was the "don't at me" one, which was really
don't at me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer AT-AT. Thank you very much. So
I get it. No, I'll just leave with this one. Actually, most of these are Jacob, so I can't take credit for most of these. But I like this one. Did you hear that Thrawn got in a fight with his family? He was pretty miffed.
I like that one. Nice.
Not bad. Not bad. What do you got? What else you got?
Let's see. I have some other ones. I like this one too. Imperial admirals don't impress me that much. Imperial moffs are okay, but Imperial gray moffs, now that's what I'm talking about.
My God.
And there are certain ones like I can tell that Jacob wrote and ones that I wrote. I'm like, this next one is definitely one that I wrote because this sounds like one I'd write. Why did Maul object to the killing of his half-brother?
Why?
It was too savage.
Yeah, nice.
That's not bad. Oh man, that's fantastic. Listen, Kelly, you better be taking notes. Honestly, I'm just saying. You know,
I do have a spreadsheet.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, nice. Right, there you go. Perfect.
That is fantastic.
What's funny is Boop also has a spreadsheet on the B question, so you are going to be added to their spreadsheet.
Yeah, I've never been part of a spreadsheet. That's great.
Yeah,
welcome.
No, they've asked us all these questions, and they're like various levels of ridiculousness and all the answers. I hope they post an updated version tonight because I just want to I like seeing all the lists and all the answers. There are some like really specific ones in there.
You know they're going to, and now they have Kelly Knox's answer like for their birthday tomorrow.
And I think
Alden's birthday is tomorrow, I believe, right? So happy birthday tomorrow to Boop.
Wait, I think it's in a few days. I'm not sure.
Is it a few days? I thought it was the 16th.
I thought it was the 17th, but okay. No, I could be wrong. Let's see.
What day even is it? Is it Saturday?
I just looked. It's the 17th.
Right. Okay. But, I thought it was every day this weekend because I was trying to get things. Anyway.
Happy birthday, Boop.
Happy birthday, Boop.
Happy birthday to Boop and Eli, my child. I love you, but we have someone waiting in the wings right now.
Oh, no. Who is it this time?
We need to just get him in here and get him out as quick as we possibly can.
Oh no.
So if you have any closing thoughts, sir?
No, I just want to see who this is. If you're talking about him that way, and I think I know who it is.
Well, yeah, okay, it's fine. Listen, but have fun backstage. We'll talk to you later, sir.
Good seeing you, Kelly. Thanks for
having
me on here.
See, Eli, don't disappear into the background there. Okay. Backstage, we have a very special guest. He does not show up very often to Hyperfocus, but I won't say that he isn't connected fairly, by a thread of fate to Hyperfocus. But you know what? I'm going to stop just talking about him. I'm going to bring him in.
Gotcha. Do you know who I am? I am John Cena!
Oh, Scotty's here. Look,
I'm Alden's stepdad.
Kelly let the force in.
Yeah, I did. It was getting a little dark.
Here we go. Why are you all drinking Miller Lite tonight?
I'm Alden's stepdad. I got Alden's glasses on.
You're a stepdad?
Kind of. I'm his stepdad. We're doing good. So I'll answer any question about Alden Diaz. Here we go. So go ahead and ask him. I'll give you my honest answer.
All right. Well, wait. What did you want me to do?
Ask any question about Alden, and I'll give you. I'm his stepdad. I'll give you honest answers.
You want us to interview you? Okay.
Well, no. I mean, Kelly, anything you've ever wondered about Alden, and I'll answer it. Anything.
Yeah.
Middle name.
What do you got?
Middle name? this is going to come as a surprise for a lot of you, but for the ones that don't know Alden on a deeper level, like me, because I'm his stepdad, his middle name is Alden Gene Simmons Diaz. Wouldn't believe it. I know.
Nope.
I know. It was his
That's
request to change it that way. It may be a surprise to you, Kelly. Nice to meet you, by the way, being Alden's stepdad, and you, Jerry Cable. And very nice meeting you as well.
Yeah, no, it's fine. You know, I always like, you know, that's something that we don't like really let out to the public is that you are actually Alden's stepdad.
Yeah,
and so
I don't bring it up often.
No, you know, it's a lot of turmoil, a lot of angst, a lot of teenage angst going on behind the scenes.
You know, part of it too is it. You know, whenever he has his moments where he's a little grumpy on his Twitter there, it's because, and this may come as a surprise for some of you.
Yeah, right.
He comes in the kitchen very frustrated sometimes. And the only way to alleviate his frustrations is a glass of warm milk, and he'll open the fridge and know it's not there. Guess what's not there? Do you know it's not there? Milk. And then the second the milk is not there, he makes requests and demands. He throws stuff. But the good thing is he learns to center and calm himself by just going to Twitter and making sure everyone's in check. And I appreciate him for that, because, you know, if anything he learned from, you know, not just the stepdad, but the dad who stepped up, that's me, is that sometimes, you know, you can write a letter to the Pope and then throw it away. You don't always have to mail it. You don't. So stepdads are for.
No, right. You're no, every day I tell you how amazing of a stepdad you are to this kid and stuff. It's great. It's great. But no, did you have anything that
I do have something for Kelly over here.
Kelly about?
Okay.
Kelly's just sitting here like, you know.
No, I got the question. It's good.
It's okay. I'll take off the glasses for this one. Just because I can be in, you know, Scotty, not dad.
Your
mode
astigmatism,
right
you know.
Yeah. So Kelly, this is a question for you. And this is fun because Kelly and I were sitting in like the media section. My buddy Eric got us some VIP spots, so we're sitting there in the VIP media area. And I don't know what caused it, but I think, was I turning around and looking around at people and I locked eyes with you, or did I make a tweet and you were like, "I'm behind you" or something?
You tweeted. I think there's like a picture or
was.
something, and I don't know if I saw myself, but I recognized where you were. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a special moment between Kelly and I that I'll never forget.
Tweets.
It was she saw one of my serious tweets and was like, "I'm gonna engage this one." Then she sees all my pictures of monkeys smoking cigarettes, and most people don't know what to do with those.
I thought those were the serious ones myself.
But it's funny.
You know.
It's funny, Kelly. I know people take their social media different ways, and some people have certain outlets for it, and my stepson's very good at it, and I'm happy to say that when it comes down to it, you're very good at it. Jerry and I are somewhere in the middle, but it's funny. Like like Alden was saying earlier, anytime I see an article with something that just like bleeds Kelly Knox, I know it's you. So I'm very happy to say, like, you know, you've got your own thing to identify with. I think it's kind of a beautiful thing. And, you know, for you to recognize me, it just shows how important I am. I just thank you.
I knew you were going there.
I do have to admit, I did have to mute the birthing pictures you went on for a while. You might have
yes. The best one about that was it was because the Twitter circles were coming out, and I just kept saying like, oh, "Hello, Twitter circle," and then there was no Twitter circle. I just thought it was so funny. This is what you're going to get if you're going to be a part of my Twitter circle. And it was just my normal Twitter. I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all.
Listen.
It's for
Scotty is nothing but an experiment in endurance. And I mean that with the highest. I mean that with the highest marks of you know, like I mean that as a compliment, of course.
I've had very serious phone calls with content creators like that we all know very well, and they're like, "Man, I you know, you're a great guy. I love talking, but man, I block your shit on Twitter." I'm like, don't blame you. I will send in the private chat who that person is, and It's nothing against this person. They just made it very clear they follow me, but they have nothing to do. They don't want to be involved with my Twitter at all. And it was one of the best conversations I've ever had. They're like, bruh,
only the bravest among us, only the dads that step up.
But it's
can take Scotty's Twitter. Frankly.
But the reason I really wanted to come on is tell Kelly that it's hard to find your own voice in such an interesting way, and through your love of art and crafts. I think it's something that's very special, and I think the book you have got coming out is going to mean a lot to a lot of teachers on May the 4th. And I'm not kidding. Like it'll be one of those things. It's just
right there.
I would
this
love
guy who posts
giraffe
birthing pictures is a teacher, by the way. He is a teacher of
I
children.
teach biology, so
he's a shaper of young minds.
That's right.
I don't know if you knew this. So yeah. You definitely will be using that book for sure.
100%. And I know that being said, I hope everyone has a great night, and I'm gonna go talk to my little stepson right now, make sure he's doing okay, that he's got his milk, and like Boop said earlier, what did it say? Yes, I do often rub his tummy to put him to sleep. So
you got to get on that. You got to get on that because it's getting past his bedtime actually right now.
I can tell. You know what? And how I can tell now?
How?
You ready for this? I don't think you're ready for this.
No, I'm probably not.
I don't know what it is, but he goes up to the AC, he turns it down till like it clicks on, and because it gets really hot with where we live. And then he'll sit because I don't know why our house is a little old, so he sits where the AC actually filters it in, thinking he's gonna cool down. But he
very
doesn't
elaborate.
cool down. He doesn't cool down because all he feels is like the air rushing past him. It's just not cooling him down. I have to show him you need to sit in front of the tower fan, and that's how you'll cool down. But anyway, I need to go. I'll go handle it. Okay. So,
he's gonna go. Hold on. Make sure you're in bed by 9, sir.
By the way, I look legit, like no kayfabe. I'm dying back here, but I just wanted to say that after my stepdad goes to continue drinking himself into some sort of liver disease, we are going to do a live reading of Be More Obi-Wan. I'm going to. Is there an audio book of any of these? Because I'm a professional broadcaster. And I'm just gonna make my own, and then
listen. If you're gonna pitch your shit on my show, man, I mean, come on, let's go. No, I'm just playing. Go
the
shoot your shot.
sage's path to staying grounded. Kelly, don't go anywhere. You're not allowed to leave.
It's like hearing your own voice. I can't do it.
The galaxy can be a stressful. No, I won't do this. This is.
Thank you. I was really like, do I take out my headphones? What do I do?
Listen,
I love my kiddo. God, what a
he's a scamp. Listen, Scotty.
I'm gonna go. Yeah.
Have fun. Kiss Diane for us all, and
of course. Great kisser,
and
I mean, amazing kisser.
But hey, listen, have a good night. We'll talk to you later. All right, stepdad.
Now before I leave,
okay.
Alden had been wanting me to say this on this stream. I'm gonna read it from my phone to him and then show an image. He said, "Jared, the Gray Jedi, is a loser, baby," and this what Alden wanted me to say because he lost. Apparently, he lost to Scotty, and I am Scotty and Alden in the trip. Anyway, let me take these off. As I would say, stay bomb bad.
Yes, you would. Hey, have a good one. Well, that was something. Kelly, thank you for coming on, regardless of the all of this. That you probably knew was going to happen. So don't worry, it's over. But no, seriously, thank you so much for coming on and just kind of hanging out with us for a little bit. And again, enduring some of these lovely things that we love to do around here. We love to have a little bit of fun and go on, as they say. So, but yeah, no, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, well, and so I don't know if you want to kind of tell everyone where they can find you, plug the stuff, typical podcast / YouTube stuff. If you want to be found, you may now at this time tell people where you can be found.
You can find me on Twitter more than anywhere else, probably at Kelly_Knox, and on StarWars.com. DCcomics.com, whole bunch of places.
Yeah, pretty much. Kelly's everywhere. Okay, Kelly is, again, she's got her finger in a bunch of different fandoms, and they're all the better for it. And so go follow her stuff and do all the stuff that you need to do and everything. And again, I just can't thank you enough for coming on and hanging out with me. And again, just enduring and having a good time with all that we've done. And again, we don't talk about Star Wars on here much, but I had a good time talking about Star Wars on here because we don't do that often. So thank you.
Well, I don't actually get to talk about it much with many people like out loud, so that was fun. So thank you.
Well, there you go. We're gonna have to change that then. We're gonna have to talk to you about Star Wars some more sometime. But anyway, okay. Kelly, thank you for coming on. All of you, thank you for hanging out. And until next time, I still don't know how to end the show.
You know, my Uncle Buford was a dream chaser. He dreamed of chasing rabbits mostly, and he'd bark and kick and carry on like crazy.
Oh, your uncle, huh? Must be genetic.
Well, everybody, I've got a dream too.
You want to sing opera?
Yes, but that's not the dream I meant. I also dream of becoming a great writer.
Really?
Wow! Sure! With a typewriter, you can create food for thought without getting tomato sauce all over your clothes. Please, sir or madam, will you read my book? It took me years to write. Will you take a look? It's based on a novel by a man named Lear, and I need a job, so I want to be a paperback writer. Paperback writer. It's 1,000 pages, give or take a few. I'll be writing more in a week or two. I can make it longer if you like this style. I can change it around, and I want to be a paperback writer. Paperback writer. Paperback writer. If you really like it, you can have the rights. You could make $1 million for you overnight. You must return it, you can send it here. But I need a break, and I want to be a paperback writer. Paperback writer. Paperback writer. It's a beautiful dream, but I don't think I'll ever write a bestseller.
Well, maybe you could if you found the right subject.
Yeah, I got it. You can write the inside story of a dream that did come true for the most fascinating and beloved rodent in entertainment history.
You